So this is the typical solution that a client presents to us when they're used to running their own reports, downloading data from Magaya and then processing through Excel. Because of the way Magaya presents reports and all of that, they might not want to leave Excel entirely. They just want a more efficient way to create those reports. So we came up with this amazing idea. I really love it, which is a dashboard. It's still in Excel and it works like this. So first of all, the client downloads from their Magaya a list of shipments on a monthly basis. You can see here January, February, a few months there with a bunch of data. Those files are configured in views in Magaya with certain columns and certain specific order. But the most important thing is that data has to be reliable. So we created some quality control steps within Magaya to make sure all the users are using the system correctly. That's number one, right? So, and then we have a folder here that is called data in my case, and it hosts all those files that we download, right? Then on the macro itself, Excel macro file, we create some parameters, right? Those parameters are pretty much the rules or the base data that it will use in order to compare and run and all of that. So they decided they wanted three different sets of parameters. One is the goals by sales reps. So we have 5 demo sales reps here, and the names would match exactly the names in Magaya. And then we have a structure where we have years and months. So this is January, this is February, and so on, right? And then they have a goal per shipment, right? Shipment count. So all you need to do every month, only once a month, is just defining your next month's goal. So I'm just adding here August with random numbers, and that's about it. Now we have some payroll data, which mean the cost of the employees, right? So same thing, we have five, I'm sorry, demo employees for the month of August, and then here we define how many hours the each of them worked. I'm just adding again random numbers and then random cost per employee, and then a calculated column with the cost per hour, right? And then finally, they have like a global budget for each specific month. So they enter here how much they want to make in profit, how many shipments that would entail, and how many containers that would entail, right? So three very basic goal specific setups plus the cost which they usually extract from the payroll system or accounting or whatever they use. And then another very easy parameter is the route where the shipment lists are going to be saved, right? In this case, I have a Mac computer, so this is my path. If you have a Windows computer, then you just add your path here and replace it. But that's pretty much it, right? So now we have a menu, and the menu only has a button. What that button will do is as soon as you click it, it will start opening each individual file and grabbing all that data and putting that data into this data Magaya sheet. So let's do that. Right now I hit calculate and it will process. It will take a few seconds, of course. Opens. All right, so it will copy and prepare all those files. And in the end, it gives us this message that says process finalize, rows eliminated because of duplicates, 0, right? In this case, there's no duplicates because we download individual months and paste them into this folder. Now, for the sake of testing and demonstration, I downloaded a full year worth of shipments, and I will add it also to the same folder, which this means is by doing that, I will be on purpose duplicating shipments, right? Because we have individual month shipments, but also now we have a full year list of shipments. So some of them will be duplicated. Now, if I run the calculation again, let's run the macro and wait for the final message. So what is going to happen is it will identify those duplicates, of course, And now we have the same message, process finalized, uh, duplicated rows eliminated, 1,857. So it recognized by shipment name all those duplicated rows, and then it eliminates the duplicates. So we don't, double track the same shipment and stuff like that. So I hit OK. And then now we have some really interesting pieces of information here. So the shipments one will map out the amount of shipments created by sales rep, right? Comparing with the goal, the difference, and uh, the ratio here, how much of the goal you actually fulfilled, right? And then a summary in a tiny pivot table for the dashboard. We'll see in a second. Operations, same thing. Now you have all the employees, all the shipments that they handle, the containers they handle, the profit of those shipments, the hours they work, the cost, and then the productivity ratio there. And again, a couple of pivot tables just for reporting. You will see that in a second. And the profits, we have a breakdown per month with the total shipments and TEUs shipped. We have a breakdown by quarters and months, again, with the total shipments and TEUs. And then we have the profit by port, the top 10 ports, right? Sorted by profit. So the beauty of this is that it automatically updates also these dashboards right here. So the volume one, you will see here a different set of filters by employee showing the volumes with the TEUs and the total shipments. The top 10 in this case, profit by destination, some volumes here, again, TEUs and shipments by mode of transport, quarter by quarter or month by month. So you have a timeline of what's going on with your shipments. And because of the filters, you can say, okay, let's review only ocean, for instance, and then it updates everything, only air, or maybe only a specific month, right? All that is possible because of those filters. Maybe you just want to analyze one specific salesperson, or you want to analyze one specific operations employee, right? So you have the power of doing all of that. Maybe you want to see, okay, there's something that maybe is not liquidated yet, and so on, right? Now, in the operations dashboard, you will see pretty much the volume that they handle, the profit that they generated, the hours they work, the cost, and the productivity of those employees. You can again filter by individual months. You can filter by individual employees. You can compare all your employees at one screen. And then finally, the sales goals, which are so important, right? So you have the full year here, and then you have each individual sales rep with a comparison of what the goal was in the dark color and what the actual shipments were in the red one, hence the ratio, the ratio, yeah, of what they actually do compared to the goal, right? So this sales rep number one got stuck at 85%. Let me zoom this in a little bit. As the sales rep number four, 1,600%. Of course, this is demo data. This is a little more realistic, 145 ratio. So it is pretty easy, automated, fast, and reaching. All you need to do is add a few rows, download the data, and save it in the proper folder, right? So this is very helpful for most companies. And if, especially when you don't have a tool like this one, that it's automatically pulling data from Magaya via API that gives you a live real-time reporting, then an option like Excel is still a great way to process that information. All right. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.